What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and continue learning about 101 random facts about the UK. Part 3. If you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, feel free to check those out or stay right here in part 3. That's fine as well. But in part 1 and part 2, I started learning things about the UK that I never imagined. Like that 20,000 cell phones are lost on the London Tube every year. It's basically made out of cell phones at this point. And what else? That randomly, England for 300 years spoke French. That was the official language. I'm telling you, I love videos like this because they just teach me the most random but fascinating things and facts about the UK. And what else was there? In part 2, I learned that the most watched episode of television in UK history was an episode of EastEnders 40 years ago that like 30 million people watched on Christmas. So I'm really interested and excited to see what I am going to learn today about random UK facts. Let's check it out.
Number 67. The village is also famous for proclaiming itself independent from the UK in 1977, with a man named Richard Booth proclaiming himself the king, just as I have of this VO booth.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Of course, this was the first fact. Some random town declared themselves independent in the UK, and this guy declared himself king.
With a man named Richard Booth proclaiming himself the king, just as I have of this VO booth.
Okay.
Wow, loyal subject. Not you, Clive, you're too close. Number 68. The UK, or rather Britain, used to put a flag down and claim, basically own/take over/destroy, many of today's independent countries to add to the vast British Empire.
That's very true. Like the British Empire was insane. Like the more I've learned about that, the more I've learned about the reach, the global reach of the British Empire. It really blows my mind because I did not appreciate that as a little American child. They did not teach us exactly the full-scale ramifications and reach of the British Empire like I know today. It's quite fascinating.
Wasn't pretty. Sorry about that. How bad? Number 69. During World War II, decolonisation took place, and the British Commonwealth was formed, which unified these countries into an intergovernmental group. 54 nations were a part of the Commonwealth, with Queen Lizzie at its head.
This is still something I don't completely understand. So these are all like former or current members of the old British Empire that have formed like a modern day Commonwealth of nations that are connected by the British monarchy, basically?
Number 70. We here in the UK love news. News, sorry. So much, in fact, that the average person in the UK gets through around 38 kilograms of newspapers every year.
What? Wait, what was that? What? I'm scared to even roll back that one. Okay, let's keep going. People in the UK love news. News, mind you. News. How much news again? This is fair. This threw me off a little.
Gets through around 38 kilograms of newspapers every year.
Okay.
Number 71. People from the city of Liverpool, such as the Beatles, are often known as Scousers. The name is short for lobscouse, which was a Scandinavian stew eaten by the sailors who visited the port.
I have heard this word, scouse, or scouser, or... That's someone from Liverpool. Okay, now I get it. Okay. And it's named after a lobster, or?
Short for lobscouse, which was a Scandinavian stew eaten by the sailors.
Not a lobster, a stew. That's lobscouse, a stew, not a lobster.
Who visited the port. So yes, Liverpudlians, you're named after food. The more you know.
Okay.
Number 72. This is Big Ben, isn't it?
No.
Wrong.
No.
This is Big Ben.
Yes, I know this one. Most Americans don't. But, oh man, I actually knew this one. It's the bell is Big Ben. I don't even know why at this point, because everyone, well, what do people in the UK call the tower? Like the Big Ben Tower? Like, because everyone in America calls the whole thing, the tower and bell and everything, Big Ben. If it's technically the bell, what do you call the whole thing, though? Huh.
Not the actual clock. The clock tower itself is called Elizabeth Tower.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Elizabeth Tower. That does sound kind of familiar. Sorta. Somewhere along the line I might have heard that, but that is not at all. No, like average Americans know this. I have vaguely heard that. So that's the tower. Okay, thanks. Okay, great.
Okay, there. Schooled you there, didn't I? So I don't know why I'm so aggressive, sorry. Number 73. East Peckham in Kent has a unique claim to fame. It's the place where the first ever speeding ticket was issued in January of 1896.
Really?
A man named Walter Arnold was spotted doing 8 miles per hour in a 2 miles per hour zone. Go speed.
8 miles. Oh, 8 miles an hour. Instead of 2. Holy cow. He was really booking it. He had places to be, stuff to do. How did they even catch him? Going 8 miles an hour, wow.
But was easily apprehended by a policeman riding a bicycle.
Right.
Number 74. Before we had the pound sterling, we had other monies that sound like the stuff you find in Gringotts. We had farthings, shillings, and pennies. 4 farthings equaled a penny, 12 pence equaled 1 shilling, and 20 shillings equaled a pound. So
I've heard of a shilling. I actually didn't know that was a British thing or a UK thing, but I've heard of that. Not really the other ones, though. Interesting stuff, though.
If you ever go back in time, remember that. Number 75. Birmingham is the second largest city in the UK.
Okay.
Chances are you've probably been to a Birmingham, as there are 30 other places called Birmingham around the world.
Really?
And off it. There's even a crater on the moon with the same name, although you probably haven't been there.
What?
And if you say you do, I frankly don't believe you.
Oh my gosh.
Number 76. If you're visiting Norfolk, watch out for jaspers, also known as wasps, and try not to step on any dodmans, also known as snails. The more
Jaspers for wasps. I actually like that. A wasp looks like a jasper. Now that they say that. Wow.
rural parts of the county have their own words for many things, including ladybirds, known as bishy barney bees, and money, known as cuta. I wonder if they have a word for the pedestrianisation of Norwich city centre.
Huh?
Scum. Subhuman scum.
Number 77. According to British law, it's still perfectly legal to kill any Scotsman who enters the city of York if he happens to be carrying a bow and arrow. So, yeah, watch out for that, York.
What? This belongs in one of those lists of crazy laws that exist, but never gets enforced? You can kill a Scotsman if they're wielding a bow and arrow and step in this city of York?
Who enters the city of York.
York. Okay, good to know.
Just Number 78. Killing a swan is a lawful offence in the UK, even if the swan started it by insulting a wife, or perhaps saying your pants are a bit too tight. This is because swans legally all belong to the crown, and therefore are property of the Queen.
What? Wait a minute. The king now owns all the swans? And you can't kill them. Even if they're trying to kill you, you can't kill them. You can kill a Scotsman wielding a bow and arrow, but you cannot kill this swan. Okay.
So killing or injuring a swan carries a penalty of £5,000 or 6 months in jail.
Wow.
Number 79. In St George's Churchyard in Gravesend, there's a life-size statue of Princess Pocahontas, the daughter of a Native American chieftain who is buried in the grounds. She was visiting the area with her English husband, but died of fever, probably not Saturday night fever, but, the lethal one, in 1617.
Wow. Yeah, I think most American kids or young adults or most Americans have heard of Pocahontas, now that I think of it, mostly because of the cartoon movie that came out a long time ago.
Number 80. Unlike places like, say, Australia, our wildlife is very unlikely to kill you unless you're on the Hogwarts grounds or any high street after 9 p.m. on a Saturday.
That's good.
Our wildlife includes foxes, badgers, owls, squirrels, ducks, robins, and hedgehogs. No killer spiders here.
It's a pretty interesting difference, though. Foxes?
Badgers, owls,
badgers, and foxes.
Squirrels, ducks, robins, and hedgehogs.
Hedgehogs! That's kind of fun.
No killer spiders here. Yet.
Right, I like that it's all like little critters that are kind of cute, if not a little pointy, or can actually hurt you like a fox. But they're all like actually pretty cute, maybe deceptively so. Nothing like spiders or anything are really known in the UK as far as I know, and that's nice.
Number 81. That being said, though, we do have a native venomous snake in the UK called the adder, but it's pretty meek and will only bite as a last resort.
Okay.
Nobody has died from its bite in over 20 years.
Okay.
Number 82. Eating a mince pie on Christmas Day was set to be illegal in England thanks to Oliver Cromwell. The law was put in place in an effort to stop gluttony. However, the ban was...
To stop gluttony? The mince pie was banned? I think that's like pretty famous, pretty popular. It was banned to stop gluttony? Back in the day? Back in what year? Weren't people like they back in the hundreds of years ago, people were like starving, right? Like, and didn't even have great nutrition. Was gluttony really a problem back then?
Was abolished when Charles II became king, so never came into practice. Number 83. The national anthem... No, not you, Radiohead. The other one, God Save the Queen, or King, was first performed publicly in 1745 at London's Theatre Royal in Drury Lane.
Wow.
After a performance of Ben Jonson's play The Alchemist. There you go, that'll help you out.
300 years ago.
Number 84. These three golden lions are the symbols of England's crest, and also appear on England's football team's symbol too. All together now. Three lions on the shirt. The lions come from Henry I, known as the Lion of England. He is a lion,
Cool.
you're gonna...
There's Katy Perry.
Number 85. This random assembly of stones is known as Stonehenge.
Right. Stonehenge is very, very, very popular and well known to Americans. For the longest time, I didn't even know where it was in the world, like on the planet. I don't associate it as a British thing for a long, long time. Actually, Americans just know it exists, but don't really know where it is. Funny enough.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Stonehenge stands on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire and is a very popular tourist spot to this day.
Yes.
But nobody knows why it was built or even how.
Right. Very mysterious.
Number 86. What we do know, though, apart from that the Pandorica is very nearby, is that it was built around 3000 BC and construction was spread over many hundreds of years.
It's really cool that there's mysterious stuff like this. That to this day we still wonder how they got the stones there and set them up, or it's like building the pyramids or something. It's like this amazing feat of human engineering that we don't quite understand how it was done. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty cool stuff like that exists.
The last changes were made in the early Bronze Age in around 1500 BC.
Okay.
Number 87. The British Library in London is the largest library in the world.
Really?
It has more than 170 million items catalogued, and hopefully
170 million? 170 million things. I can't even process 170 million pieces of like books and information. I wouldn't. That is absurd. That's absurd.
soon in the future, my autobiography, Love is the Oldest Law, writes the Sam and Jen story. Number 88. United Kingdom is one of the only countries in the world without a written constitution. Of course, we still have laws and stuff. It's not quite anarchy in the UK. Sorry, Sex Pistols. But no...
The UK doesn't have a constitution? Or like a written constitution? Wait, how does that work? Wait, what?
Nobody's actually bothered to write the laws down.
What?
Number 80.
What? Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean the UK just has no constitution written down? So there is a constitution. But what, is it memorized? Is it on the cloud? It's not written. How? What? That is very random to me. Okay, I guess it works somehow.
89. England's first telephone directory was published in 1880 and only had 248 names and addresses in it.
What year?
In 1880.
1880. Sometimes I forget that the telephone is even that old. That's amazing. I'm not even amazed that it's a small amount of people. I'm amazed that there was a telephone in 1880.
And only had 248 names and addresses in it.
Wow.
Number 90. In its past, London has had some far flashier names, including Londinium, Ludenwick, and Ludenberg.
Really?
Number 91.
Really?
The UK is also the home of the wonderful NHS, or National Health Service.
Right.
This provides free healthcare for all citizens of the country due to being paid for through taxes.
Right,
Which is
right.
nice because if you trip over a hedgehog and scuff your knee, it won't cost you anything.
Right. I learned a little bit about the NHS and the healthcare system in the UK. I did a video learning about that. It is very eye-opening. I don't know why we do it the way we do it here in the United States, especially after learning about the UK system, which seems a lot better, and you don't go broke for for medical treatment, which is nice.
Result. Number 92. There are 1.4 million employees within the health service, helping out those who are falling
Wow.
over hedgehogs everywhere. And they're all amazing. Thanks, guys. You the best. Also, government, pay them more.
Oh, okay.
Number 93. It's not just hedgehogs, though, that the NHS have to deal with. On average, 488 people are injured by zips and 3,078 people are injured by slippers every year in the UK.
488 people injured by a zipper or a zip? What does that mean exactly? What's the injury? Zipping up your, like getting caught on your chest hair? Like zipping it into your skin? What? God forbid, zipping up your trousers? Oh my god.
They are dangerous, though. Look at them. Ooh, don't trust them.
And these slippers?
Number 94. Asgard seems to be a big hit here, sadly, for all you Garys out there. The name Gary is, as of 2013, less popular in the UK than both the names Thor and Loki.
Really? I'm surprised by that, actually. Thor and Loki? And beans? Wait a minute, is this real? Are more popular than the name Gary? I feel like there's a lot of Garys. Is this true?
Number 95. England was part of the shortest war in history. They fought Zanzibar in 1896, and Zanzibar surrendered after 38 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
Number 96. A relative of Shakespeare on his mother's side, Edward Arden, was arrested for plotting against Queen Elizabeth I. He was
Really?
imprisoned in the Tower of London and executed there. Write a poem about that, Willie.
Oh my god.
Number 97.
There's probably so many plots to kill, like, royalty and famous people. A lot of plots people probably don't even know about. And that's actually... But, you know, it's kind of a disturbing thing, learning about murder plots, but you kind of can't help but be intrigued a little bit.
7. Speaking of old Bill Shakespeare, he only left his wife one thing in his will. It says, I gave unto my wife my second best bed with the furniture. I hope that bed was okay. Sorry, Anne.
No way.
I gave unto my wife my second best bed with the furniture.
Second best bed? Who got the best bed? How good was that bed? This just pops up so many other questions. Did he actually said this? I give my wife my second best bed. With the furniture. Hey, with the furniture. Second best.
I hope that bed was okay. Sorry, Anne Hathaway. No, not that one, the other. Yeah,
Oh my god.
Number 98. With 37 plays, 154 sonnets, the plays that he collaborated on, and the lost plays, Shakespeare wrote an average of 1.5 plays a year since he
Wow.
first started in 1589.
Wow.
That's all very well and good, but could he do 101 facts about any given topic?
It kind of goes to show you, especially like back in the day, when you really didn't have all that much to do, like watch videos on YouTube about Americans talking about the UK. What else could you do? You just, you had to just dump yourself into some kind of activity or hobby or passion. So that's probably like why people like Shakespeare and Michelangelo, the painter and sculptor, like why they were so good. They didn't have anything else to entertain themselves with. It was kind of a good thing. And so writing like a play and a half a year would be insane by today's standards. But back then, it's just like, what else are you going to do?
Probably. Number 99. This fact is something that you can repeat word for word in order to sound cleverer. You're welcome. Here we go, ready? Shakespeare is most often referred to as a playwright of the Elizabethan era, but
Okay.
his most popular plays were written after Elizabeth's death. His later plays show distinct characteristics of the Jacobean dramas, like, obviously.
Huh?
Number 100.
Okay. Okay.
Shakespeare has been credited by the Oxford English Dictionary for introducing around 3,000 words to the English language.
What?
It's been estimated that his vocabulary ranged from 17,000
What?
words.
Okay, what? Shakespeare created 3,000 words? He just straight up created English words?
Shakespeare has been credited by the Oxford English Dictionary for introducing around 3,000 words to the English language. It's been estimated that his vocabulary ranged from 17,000 to 23,000 words.
Yeah, because he's literally inventing ones out of nothing. His vocabulary is infinite, technically. That's amazing. Talk about influence. And what a power play by Shakespeare. Just putting words in his plays that don't exist. It's just like, whatever, they're words now.
Words. Number 101.
Okay, here we go.
An Anglophile is not something that puts you on a register, but is rather defined as someone who loves England and Britain. Are you an Anglophile?
Oh.
Let me know in the comments below. Also
Someone who loves England and Britain?
loves England and Britain. Are you an Anglophile?
I would imagine that's most English people. Yeah. Like, especially if you're in England, you're part of Britain. So I hope that's most English people.
Let me know in the comments below. Also, I know you've got to this point, and I'll be really, really impressed. Really impressed. I'll give your comment likes and everything.
All right, and there we have it. Oh man, that was very, very enjoyable. I even appreciated the humor that he threw into this video. This video was by 101 Facts, and I gotta give it a like, because that was very, very enjoyable. Again, just chock full of cool, interesting things about the UK I didn't even know I needed to know. Like, I feel like there's no other circumstance where I would have learned half of these facts. Because they're so random and not things I wouldn't even know to look them up. So I really actually appreciate this video for teaching me a lot of interesting, some useful, some just interesting facts about the UK. It was actually very, very enjoyable for me. So anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these facts. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to the UK and UK culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.